I'll tell you, folks, this next gentleman comes from Brooklyn, okay? All right. And I guess the best way to describe him is to say he's the typical boy next door. Say hello to Andrew Dice Clay. Okay, here we go now. Hey, Andrew. Hey.
Madison Square fucking Garden. How are ya? Korean delis, Indian newsstands, Greek diners, and ass fucking parties every night of the week. That's New York.
I'm over here now. I'm over here now.
I'm over here now. Just like I promised you. It's not a podcast, it's a DICECAST. It's different than podcast because we are the first actual transistor radio, television, talk show, reality show. That's who we are. We're not trying to be anybody else. I don't want to be anybody else. As a matter of fact, most people bore me to fucking tears. This is not the kind of show that we're just going to be sitting here as a matter of fact, I'm going to make a big change right now. You know, why aren't you using the camera? Why isn't that camera on?
Oh, I got it.
No, why isn't it on? You see, that's the kind of show I do. I demand certain things. Why is this messed up? Our sound engineer, Patrick, which I'll find a better name for him in the long run, he already fucked up by not having the camera on. Why isn't it turned sideways a little? See? That's what makes our show. You know what's going to start the show just to make it different? Here, look. I don't believe in fucking headphones. I look like an asshole when I'm wearing the headphones because then people, as Patrick is filming right now, can't see the haircut, which happens to be perfect. Another thing that other people that have their own transistor radio shows don't do. They don't really care about what's in their hair, the kind of spray they use, the kind of gel they use. These are all things that I think out perfectly before. Here, look at the gloves. Anybody else wearing these other than my buddy Big J. Okerson, who has the right to wear these gloves? It's a tribute when he wears these gloves. But this is our first show, which turn the camera the other way now. There we go. See, listen, to make this the first reality DICECAST ever, we do things different, right, Patrick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed to answer me. It's okay. And I have an incredible cast with me today. I figured if I'm going to do this, let me start out with what I call the family show. So, as you can see, right to my, what are you laughing about?
It's nice.
And what are you doing with your hair ready? The nervous twitch with your
Yes,
hair.
I have a nervous twitch, he's filming. I forgot.
We have Eleanor Kerrigan with us.
God.
Oh, you get dressed up to perform every night.
I'm dressed nice.
What are you wearing under the sweatshirt? Show
It's
people
cold
something.
in here. What do you want them to
Exactly.
see? Here you go. You happy?
Eleanor Kerrigan.
Right here.
The greatest female stand-up in the
thank you.
country right now. Stop with the thank yous. I've said it before.
Yeah, but you're being polite. Why can't I? Thank you.
What I'm trying to introduce you to the world.
Okay. Hey, world.
Okay. But you do. You look very pretty.
Thank
but
you.
I like when we see a little. You're the only girl in the room, so we want a little bit of sex appeal. If you can do that for the.
Oh, I thought you were taking all the sex appeal.
Well, I take a lot of it for the women.
Hey.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But even with the headphones,
God.
she looks cute.
Thank you.
She's got the hoop earrings on.
Should I take my shirt off?
It's up to you.
Well,
But, Eleanor works out constantly. She actually does, can I say, your pre-show, what you do pre-show?
Yeah,
before you
sure.
go on? If you don't want me to give that up.
No, that's fine. I do.
But she does something, before every show. She's not my opening act for no reason.
Hey, what?
I know she can't do it in here in front of the cameras.
What are you talking about?
But we'll do it another time. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's do it another time.
But I am so excited to have her here. She left her busy schedule to be here.
I did.
And,
I cut it short doing the stairs today.
You did this. How many times did you do the stairs?
Today only 10, but then I sprinted in between.
People, you don't understand what the Santa Monica stairs could do to a person. You don't walk for a week. I go up at one time. And I have a rented hospital room at Cedars-Sinai to recuperate from one time going up those stairs. She does a 10. 12 times the other day. She's constantly working out to try to get rid of this belly,
Yeah.
problem that she can. But look at her, top physical condition. She's made out of glass and steel and some high grade plastics. She has, she's not a real listener.
Excuse me?
Are you?
These aren't plastic. And wait, I'm a listener. I listen. What are you talking?
Why are you pointing?
Well, because you
those
said
already?
Plastic.
My children are on the show. Let me introduce.
Look how cute they
I
are.
want to introduce my children right off the bat. This is Dylan, and this is Max. Both belong to me in a certain way.
What is that?
No, they're my kids.
Yeah, I know.
They're here today to support me. We'll talk about a lot of things. Say hello to the camera, Dylan.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. See,
This is the
very-
first
It's a good
episode.
kid.
See, they're very nice. They're completely nice people. Max, you want to say something?
I'm over here now.
Yeah, he's
We're over here now.
He's over here now. He might
How
be.
you doing?
Yeah, he might be a little, daytime, but
Oh.
I don't know. I can't tell sometimes with him.
I know what you're saying, but I'm not.
Oh, you're not? Not yet? You're up nearly
Not
an
yet.
hour.
Not yet.
The people do not understand what time we go to sleep and what time we get up. Like, it was a stretch even getting here
Max
today.
came in my room today and he was in a panic. He's like, if you don't get out of bed now, you're not coming today.
Because it was 2:30 in the afternoon. He told me. I asked him if he wanted to go with me to come do this thing. And he's saying to me, he goes, I got to make Dylan move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, where's Dylan? He goes, he's sleeping.
Oh.
I go, it's 2:30.
I just needed a little more time.
No, I understand. Nobody understands more than me. That's the thing about being like a showbiz family. The hours, like our home is almost like an after hours club. And so, we don't even start really smoking till about midnight, 1.
Sometimes me and Max are up so late, we have to do something called a switch.
And what's that?
It's where you decide not to go to bed because you're up so late and you just stay up for the whole rest of the next day and you do a switch so that the next time you wake up, it could be early.
See, that is
amazing.
the beauty. Shut up. I'm
Hey,
talking to my children. Shut your mouth.
you shut up.
You shut up.
I'm listening and responding,
No,
that's
I'm
all.
saying- I didn't mean to come off in a
God.
negative way to you, really. No, but all I'm saying is that now I forgot what I was saying because you
The switch. That's insane. Do you think that could you do that?
No. When I was younger, I could do 3 and 4 days at a clip.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even kidding.
Staying up, you mean?
Yeah, I just would stay up because I'd be so excited about, like, let's say the set I did at the Comedy Store, and I dragged some chick up that I met in the audience.
Okay.
And, this is way before, they came out with, Me Too, Me and a Half, Me 3, whatever it is. When girls actually liked coming up to the house I lived in, which I'll talk about, which was Crest Hill, where I lived with, 5 other comedians, and after the set, I'd be so excited I'd have to find a girl that I could basically just bang into for a few hours and listen to Elvis music, it was all congenial,
Genial.
because they all come on TV today going, oh, it wasn't congenial, and they'd leave all upset. I have a theory about Me Too, which I call Me in Between, which is, I think Asians came up with that, Me in Between.
What?
You've heard of that, right?
No.
No. Okay. You've been down this road.
In between?
Yeah. And then I want to talk to Uncle Lee. Yeah. No, I'm saying women.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you meet a girl, wherever. Okay.
Right.
When you're first with a girl, they normally like to get you back to their place. They feel safe. It's their home, their surroundings. So if they don't want you there, they could tell you, I got to get up early for work, the bullshit.
Yeah.
And you leave, But so now Me in Between is, okay, things are going good with the girl. Excuse me for a moment. I'm going to do this for the people. A lot of people never get to see me drink coffee.
What are you drinking?
Oh, boy.
It's an ice mocha. Yeah.
Wow.
With the cold brew whipped cream. which in my opinion doesn't really exist, because how do they get coffee and whipped cream? It can't happen. But let them say it. Let them be happy. They're the barista.
Oh, my God.
That's how I feel about it. And I did steal a handful of straws. The straw business is going to build. So anyway, me in between. So now if the girl's comfortable, let's say she's a little lick it up. You're wearing your software and you're with the girl.
What?
You start kissing her. All of a sudden the software goes hardware. Get it? From software to hardware. This is how I would operate. And not with the best looking girls either.
Oh.
I once walked around Cantor's Deli with, I don't even know what she was. I mean, she was fucked up in a lot of ways, like physically. That was she even had like 1 foot was higher than the other. So it was like this cute little cripple thing going on.
Oh my God.
Which turned me on. Jeez. And so what happened is we're laying down on her couch and, just to note this, Jimmy Schubert was with me that night.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to write it.
And he couldn't believe that I was walking around Cantor's with this buffalo, basically going like it's the love of your life. He just didn't understand. To this day, he doesn't understand that. But I saw something in her. I'm not, like the girl's got to be a 10.
Right. You like a little off. You like a little bit off.
This was a little more than just a little off.
Okay.
And so I get back to the place, and we wind up on the floor with her front door open, okay? Wow. To her apartment off of Hollywood Boulevard. I never even told you this story. It's sort of a nice story because it's a little loving. And so when we're on the floor, my hand starts going up the thigh a little, and this is what me in between means. Is when you do that to a girl, the girl will normally put her hand on your forearm. And she might say something like, I don't know if we should do this right now. Now, depending on the pressure of her hand on the arm, you have to make I love how Max is paying attention.
Because
it's the greatest fucking look I've ever seen.
I hope his edible is kicking in.
Listen,
My
Max,
goodness.
I'm not even telling you. So, like when a girl puts her arm there, like let's say her arm, is between 1 and 10, like the pressure is like at a 2 or a 3. It means, all right, she's trying to do the right thing, going by the morals that her mother might have instilled in her when she was a young girl, going, don't let every guy just finger bang you and bang you. They won't come back. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So if you feel the pressure at 2 or 3, that means, all right, just knock her hand out of the way. She really wants you to do it. And then she'll go with the program. All right. Now let's say she puts both hands on your forearm, and you're really feeling pressure. It's like an 8. An 8.5, a 9.
That's
you know what I mean? So you don't go further if you're any kind of gentleman.
Right.
But see, with the arm and the hand on the arm, that's a me in between because it's a judgment call. So what makes me mad is when all of a sudden a girl that might have been doing the pressure at a 2 or a 2.5 comes forward 45 years later and goes, he Me Too'd me when he really didn't because of the pressure.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I can't wait.
You remember.
I'm sorry?
No, like when
this sounds like a really bad after-school special. Say it again. So
no, like when we started.
Oh, you're saying you and me?
Yeah.
I don't remember the arm pressure.
No. You know what was a giveaway with you?
What?
The little shorts that night with
shorts?
With the Robin Williams movie on.
I don't. You're going to have to refresh my memory. I blocked a lot of it.
I got my kids here.
I know, and it's terrifying. I mean, you're talking about short shorts and Robin Williams.
I wasn't even prepared, fellas.
I'm sorry, guys.
I was just going over there. She loved this movie.
That, Good Will Hunting. Yeah.
And Robin Williams. What's his name? Matt Damon.
No, Matt Damon.
Damon and Robin Williams, which Robin was phenomenal in this movie. And I was looking forward because she'd watch it every night.
He leaves
when
out
she'd
the
go.
reason I'd watch it.
So the first bunch of times she snuck me in her room, you know, nothing would go on. We'd watch that movie. So I'm looking forward to the movie, and all of a sudden she comes in, she goes, I just want to change. You know, they give you the I just want to change with the little booty shorts on them. It's like, you know, at that moment you go, I got no choice, really.
That's
Now,
not true, boys. I want you to know that.
No, I'm not saying anything terrible went on. You know, I'm just
Why
saying
would you
your
say
roommate.
that in front of them?
No,
Yes,
I'm
my
not.
roommate was sleeping. Yes.
I'm not saying anything. I'm very real. This show is where the shit gets real.
I'm very excited
All
about
right,
it.
can we talk to Uncle
Can you
Lee
please
instead of
introduce
talking
Uncle
about your
Lee?
filthy little thing.
Why? You brought it up,
All
not
I'm saying
me.
is, I wind up with Fatso on the living room floor, this side of fucking beef that I was nice
Oh
enough
my
to climb
God.
on top of, okay? But we forgot to close the door to the apartment, and all of a sudden, there's people watching your father's ass bounce up and down like a small
This
bean.
is so amazing.
And, you know, my nuts are like playing speed bag against her ass cheeks. And then I just ran out because I realized, you know, I left my friends at Cantor's. It was wrong.
Yeah, that's right. You
And
shouldn't
I'm not
do
a guy
that.
that ditches his friends. Anyway, Uncle Lee, let's talk.
Hi,
look at him.
Lee.
Oh,
Now,
hi.
you understand because Uncle Lee, fellas, which you do know, the way we met, I will say he's not a blood uncle. He's extended uncle.
I consider Lee family.
An uncle nonetheless.
That's why I call him Uncle Lee.
Yeah.
But because of the story we've got to tell, I got to at least say he's not a blood uncle. Okay.
Exactly. But I do want
But
to...
no, can I say something?
Certainly.
You're closer to me than any fucking blood uncle in my
All
family.
right.
Because
I'll tell you that right now.
Because it's a choice. You choose for
That's
me to
right.
be family.
That's right.
It wasn't automatic. And secondly, I want to tell you something, if you don't mind, before you even say that. I'm sitting here listening to this story. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm getting an erection.
Oh,
No, I mean that.
amazingly.
Don't tell stories like that around me, especially at this stage of my life.
You were
Okay?
so
Proud
It's
of
called
you.
a Me 3.
Yes.
Wow.
That's called a Me 3. That's right. See,
It's
called an amen.
It's called a think of me when you're doing these things.
No,
for
but
crying out
the
loud.
thing is, you know, I want people to know that we met, how many years ago?
43 years ago.
43 years
Wow.
ago. Tell them where we were.
Well, it's such a
this is
strange...
Uncle Lee Lawrence. Uncle Lee Lawrence.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And
So
as
happy
I
you
said,
could be here today with us.
how strange life is. I had a show. I used to work in the Catskill Mountains, and I had a show I was looking so forward to, and the agent called and said, Lee, listen, don't be disappointed. And I said, don't disappoint me. He said, but stop, I'm being serious. So he said, the show that you had, we had a change. And I said, what kind of change? He said, they wanted someone else. They promised him. And that was the thing. Okay. So here's the story. I'm disappointed. I honestly felt like crying. I'm telling you the truth. And they said, but to make up for it, we have a hotel, another hotel. And they'll love you there. And I said, but what happened to the first one? You're disappointing me. Don't be disappointed. We have another show for you, okay? Next week we'll do it. And I'm telling you the truth. I was so angry. I hate to use the word. I was very pissed off, okay? Next thing I know, I come to this little hotel. And I walk in, and in those places, you did a show in a little tiny cabaret, and they make an announcement, okay, Lee Lawrence is here. The band come in for a rehearsal. And I'm waiting, and I figured 3 giant musicians will come in, and there they are. There they are. One old man with a saxophone, and 2, I'm telling the truth, and 2 young guys. I swear to God, I wondered how the hell did they get up here?
Because you got to understand, you got to tell them how old the people were that stayed at the hotel.
Oh, my God.
You had to be at least 65 years old. to even
Forget
stay.
65. I tripped 3 times over the walkers.
Wow.
Listen to me.
Lee, I was sitting with a guy on the front porch one time. I'm not
Yes.
even kidding.
Okay.
A great guy. He was in the main house, so he slept right outside. There was a room right outside that he stayed in.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm talking to the guy, he goes, you know what, Andrew, I have to make a little phone call. And I'm going, why? Is everything? He goes, well, I'm having a little heart attack, so I just want to get the
Oh, my
ambulance
God.
going.
Oh, my God.
That true story, but continue.
Oh, my God. But anyway, I walk in and here's the band coming in. And I said, two young guys who I swear to God thought they should have been back in junior high school. And they walk in and I said, hi. And they said, give us your music. Okay. I said, do you read? And I gave my sheet music to this drummer. And he looked up and he said, do I read? What the fuck, you think I'm illiterate?
Oh.
I was pertaining to the music, not if he just reads and all. I was
No,
afraid.
but I don't really read charts. I don't believe in the chart
Doesn't matter,
system.
because I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. It was probably one of the best shows I ever had. Probably three of the best musicians I ever had. That I was in shock. And he knows the piano player, Lee.
Musica.
Musiker, yeah.
What
The
a
greatest.
talent!
Wow.
What
The
a talent!
greatest.
So I said to him, "Excuse me, I hate to trouble you. Do you know this song?" And I just wondered. It was called "Runaway." And the reason I wanted to do "Runaway," believe it or not, as it turned out later, Andrew, of course, was in that show Crime Story, and the theme was, remember? I'm a walking in the rain. Anyway, I asked him. I said,
Oh, all the
Lee,
great songs.
Lee,
they
do you know how to
in that.
play it? He said, do I know how to play it? Oh, my God, he played it. I couldn't believe it. I said, how do you do all this? But anyway, after the show, let me just say this. I usually change. I take a little makeup off. Now a lot of makeup, but I take the makeup off seriously. And as I walked by, I saw this young drummer and he was staring at me and he said, you know, by the way, Lee, I don't only play drums. Oh, I said, really? What else you do? He says, I do comedy. Oh, I said, good for you. He says, wait a minute. How about the impressions I do? Well, I said, that's fantastic. Did you ever see me dance? I was getting so tired, all this fucking talent, and
You
here
gotta
I am.
understand, I was only 17 at the time. I wasn't
17,
even
oh
18
my
years
God.
It's
old.
not 18.
Up in the Catskill Mountains, it was unreal.
Anyway, I am so happy to say that I am the kind of personality and entertainer
Personality.
Minge
Your kind of- he's got
cockeries.
personality.
wait, who never brushed anybody. And instead of saying, all right, you know, kid, I'm busy, I think I even had another show.
No, you did take the time.
I listened to him and I said to him, wow, I believe that. You're very talented. You'll make it. And I'm telling you the truth. I'm married 59 years
Mazel
with
tov.
3 children. God bless you.
Wow.
3 children. And I can only say I'm the straightest guy in the world. But he was looking at me with these blue eyes. And no, I swear to God, I made a promise if I change it anyway. That's the man for me.
Oh, boy.
No.
Yeah, I told you got all the sex
And
appeal.
not only beautiful eyes, the balls, the chutzpah,
Whoa.
to stop an entertainer, start giving me his itinerary. Who gives a shit? No, I wanted to do a show and get out of there, and yet I listened to him. And then I do have to say the following year, did not play this resort. He did. And then I met him at King's Plaza in Brooklyn. And he said, are you
Right
coming?
before you were coming out to L.A. That's where
Right.
we ran
He
into
said, are
each
you
other.
coming to the hotel? And I said, Andrew. I have to follow my dream. My dream was to be an actor. And I thought I would come out here and I would become a superstar. And as you can see, you see what happened.
Yeah, but it's...
I'm on the podcast.
But you want to know what's so great?
I'm over
Dan?
here now.
See, I didn't come out there that year. A couple of years later, I came out here, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm in this drugstore diner that they call Schwab's, okay? And it's where they found Lana Turner, who was this great movie starlet, you know, in what like the 50s when they found Lana Turner?
Of course, big
Beautiful.
superstar. That's what Schwab's was known for, this drugstore. And it had a little cafeteria. All the entertainers hung out.
You know where it was? It was right where, you know, where you come over Laurel, where they
Where
had...
Crunch is and all?
Where?
Crunch,
Crunch
Crunch,
and all
yeah.
that is now?
It was just this...
They had Sam Ash,
Yeah,
remember,
but
music
there was
store?
nothing there. It was just this single standing drugstore diner. And, you know, I'd go in there every day and I would sit. I'd actually get to sit with Shelley Winters
Absolutely.
and Chuck McCann.
All there.
And they'd give advice. But one day, which was more thrilling than even them, I'm not even kidding, when I see him, like, getting some deodorant or something in an aisle. And now I'm about, 22, 23.
Yep, that's all you
And
were.
I tap him and I go, Lee. And it's me, you know, and we just start hanging out. But
And,
I
may
was-
I tell them what you did?
What?
Why I knew he'd be a superstar? There's a word called chutzpah, which means balls. You know, you're not afraid of anything. After seeing him, what's going on, this and that, he said, Lee, can I talk to you? I was sitting down having breakfast. I said, what? Let me talk to you. And I walk away from the table. He says, Lee, you want to do something for me? I said, if I can, Andrew, of course. Okay, listen. I went for a major...
No. Let me set it up for you.
Then please.
Boy.
You
do
for a minute.
Okay.
If you want them to understand the story, I don't want to have an argument over this.
No argument.
You know, you're the one uncle, like I said, that I love. So
why are you going to argue with the only uncle you love? You just
no, it's
let
not
him...
about an argument. But if they don't know the setup, and when are you going to learn when not to talk?
Well, I was excited to hear the story, and
Listen,
then
I have no problem with you. You're a sweet girl.
Thank you.
You know, the point is, people tuning in to my reality show are not going to understand unless I set it up. So anyway,
Okay.
I get Lee on the side. Now, I was upset because I just went out and auditioned for the sequel to Grease. And as you know, back then, my whole act was about being like Travolta and singing and dancing like Travolta, doing Grease. I would change from Jerry Lewis's Nutty Professor into John Travolta from Grease. And I'd get standing ovations in the clubs. So anyway, I go for an audition. It just didn't go right. You know, they sort of had to have me removed because, you know, like Dylan, when you go up for auditions, you know, and they just shoo you away.
Yeah.
So that's what this casting woman was doing. I go, no, you don't understand. Like, I didn't even get to do my thing, really.
Yeah.
And she's going, no, thank you. And I'm going, don't thank me. Because you're not going to, you'll thank me when you could see what I can. And she goes, you need to leave. And all of a sudden she picks up the phone. Can you come in here? And here comes this guy going, okay, we got a lot of people auditioning. You know, so I left. So now I see Uncle Lee and I say, look, you know, you got to get me back in, you know, to audition again for, you know, like the Danny Zuko of the next Grease. And he's going, Andrew, I'm not an agent. I go, yeah, but you can make believe you're an agent. Okay? That's what I need you to do. Just make believe you're my agent and call this fucking lady and talk some sense into her. So go ahead. So what happens?
Anyway, I said...
On the payphones in the back of
there
Schwab's.
Were little payphones. And I said, I really don't want to do this. I'm looking for a career for me. He said, no, don't worry about you. No, listen.
I'm looking for
he said, this is a big move for me, and I know you can do it because you're the greatest salesman. And, of course, he sold me, and here I am. Yeah, I am a pretty good salesman. Anyway, make a long story short, we go in a phone booth. He comes in with me. There's room only for one.
Yeah.
And wooden phone booth. You know.
It was a little, and he's crushing me.
120 degrees in the
and
booth.
He said, okay, call her. Her name was Sally. I won't give last. Should I give the last name?
Who cares?
Sally Dennison. We didn't do nothing bad to her. I didn't mean, you know, anything.
Anyway, he gives me the number. Call. I said,
just...
I don't feel right doing this. He said, don't worry about feeling right. Do it. I'm right for the part, and I know you could do it. And he put pressure on me.
And I'm just going, get me in there.
He put pressure on me.
So I called, and...
I'm not even 22 years old.
But that's why I'm saying the balls to even ask somebody to do this for you. Jesus Christ.
He's looking for his own ball.
So I
can't
go up,
this guy.
watch. I said, hi, Sally Dennison. So who's calling? I said, yes, it's Lee Lawrence. She says, yeah, what is it about?
That's
I
his
said,
real name.
It's about speaking to Sally Dennison. She says, no, but I mean, can I ask why are you calling? Yes. To speak to Sally Dennison.
Oh, my God.
No. So hold on.
Perfect.
And sure enough, hello, with this abrupt thing. And I said, Sally, it's Lee.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, okay. Lee who? Sally, please, Lee Lawrence. Says, yeah.
Yeah, she makes like she remembers him now.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
after that, she said to him, yeah. It's a shame to say, who the hell is Lee Lawrence? So I said, what is it? I said, I'll tell you what it is, Sally. Let me make it quick to you, okay? I represent a young man who was in to see you. From what he told me, and I understand he just got off a plane. It was not the right time to come in to see you. He was completely whacked out. And all of a sudden, I guess you didn't care for him. Who are we talking about? I said, Andrew. So, yeah, I think we did see him. Yes, but you made one mistake. You let him go. You did not see. Listen to me, Sally. Did I ever lie to you before? Of course not. I never spoke to her. She says, no. She says, no. I said, this is the man for it. I am telling you. A feather will be put in your cap when you cast this guy. I want you to see him.
He starts in, he goes, did you know, because I'm standing with him, did you know that Andrew has been doing comedy for, what was it, like 3 years at the time?
Yes.
For 3 years? And she's like, well, no, I didn't know that. And he starts naming all my talents. Go ahead, you tell him.
But I did. And I said, I'm just going to say this. You did not see the real Andrew. If you did, number one, he'd be shooting the film tomorrow. Okay? So I'm asking you as a favor to me. Please see him again. He says, yeah, but once we see them and we write it down, what does that mean? I said, do yourself a favor, not me. See Andrew. You must see him. She says, well, Jesus.
And then he starts in again with the talents.
What's the difference?
Did you know he can sing? Did you know he can
How
dance?
about he plays drums? He's a dancer. If you heard his impressions, you wouldn't believe this. But anyway, do me a favor, see him. And I couldn't believe it myself. She says, well, Thursday at 2. I said,
I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even, Max. It was like ridiculous.
But you know what's funny? In this phone booth, there's not room for one. The two, he's crushing me. And he's standing right next to me, and I'm talking to him. I didn't want him that close. I'm telling him, get the fuck out of the phone booth. Let me talk. Anyway, make a long story short, the greatest thrill I ever had, feather in my cap. Thursday at 2, we'll see him.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But it just shows you, I wasn't an agent. I'm not getting a commission. I was only concerned, please, with Lee Lawrence, but yet I did it for him.
Yeah.
Who's the salesman? Who's the salesman now?
But you know who wound up getting the part? The guy that wound up on T.J. Hooker?
Yeah,
the blonde guy. They went like a different way. They went with
married to the girl whose
like
father
in this
was
day and age, you would have been right though. That's how they went.
Oh yeah, they went with that.
He was going out with the one that played Nanny, one of the nannies.
Yeah. Her whole family.
Not the dark-haired nanny, not her.
Her whole family was very great actors and actresses, and she was well known. Anyway, believe it or not, the husband.
But this is the kind of shit you got to do in Hollywood to make it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When I was at the Comedy Store and I started really getting my chops together when I broke away from the impressions and I started, dicing it up on stage, So Mitzi, the owner of the Comedy Store, she'd start putting me on like 1:30 in the morning, like me and Sam Kennison were like the last 2 acts of the night every night.
Yeah.
And there's nobody there because I'd show up at 9 o'clock, which, Max, you've been there 1,000 times, to a packed house. And you're hoping somebody falls out, but it never happens. And you're watching the audience dwindle away. And then I'm doing my act to a guy in the front row who's out cold, snoring. But I didn't care because I just had blinders on and actually just knew what I was going to become in the world. There was like zero doubt as to where I was going. When comics, that's why a lot of the comics from that generation were against me because when they would ask me, like, how far you think this Dice thing's going to go? I go, I'm going to be the biggest comic in the world. Mm-hmm. Like, it was no shock when I even got, like, I just knew, I'll tell it to you this way. I knew I'm either not going anywhere or I'm just going to be the biggest comic that ever was. And I became the biggest comic that ever was. But it took years of just going on and talking to nobody in the room. And learning to do my act to basically silence. That I used to have a joke on stage that I go, what's great about this? In a couple of years, people are going to want to come to Vegas, see me at Caesar's Palace, and go, let's go see Andrew Dice Clay. We'll have a nice, quiet evening. Because there's no laughs in the room, But what I started doing, because I got pissed off at the owner, I started going to movie theaters before the movie would start. And I would walk to the front of the theater. I'd bring a boom box with me. I'd pay the sound guy off. I did like the Chinese, like I got credits in movie theaters. I would do all the theaters in Westwood where they were playing Prizzy's Honor. I would hit that every night. Then I would hit the very last one I did was the movie Year of the Dragon that Mickey Rourke was starring in at the Chinese Man Theater, which holds thousands of people. And I give the sound guy $10 to shut the music before the movie. And I go walking to the front of the theater with Yakov Smirnoff dressed in a tuxedo walking me up like people are waiting for me, but they hear the music. And I would, instead of going into the filthy material, I would go into my impressions that I used to do, like Travolta and Stallone and Pacino and all the people I would do. And then I back up into the act a little, but not get too filthy, and then end with the poems. And I get a standing ovation at the Chinese theater, and they don't even know who the hell I am. And then it gets written up in the LA Daily News or the Herald, kamikaze comic Andrew Dice Clay. A news guy saw me.
Yeah.
So I would hit the theaters, I would hit diners. I was going to hit big audiences, whatever it took.
That's like, it's pre-internet, you're almost, like how today you just see everything on your phone, you're seeing stuff constantly. You were like doing that in the real world.
Yeah.
Just like wherever I could subconsciously get into people's heads.
You were just showing up.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, Max, movie producers go to see movies. You know what I mean? Casting people go to see movies. So if Mitzi was not going to be smart enough to put me on at 10:30 at night when I should be on, because I spoke to her about it one time, and I go, why am I the last guy going up? She goes, because the other comics don't want to follow you, because it was dirty. But I would say, but fuck them. I'm the biggest thing that's ever going to come through your doors. Like, who gives a fuck about them? You know what I mean? But eventually, the history was, Rodney Dangerfield put me on his special in 1988. It aired February 13th, 1988 on a Saturday night. And Monday morning, I was the biggest comic in the world. It was
crazy.
And that's why I love watching them with their band Still Rebel, their build, and the way they're working on things. And maybe not so much the way, I got to say, how we approach the record industry, because sometimes it gets a little tense. But, I'm so passionate about them when I talk to anybody about them, because it's just funny. Like, whenever I go to any of the people I know in the record industry that are my friends, those are the ones that are going to hate them the most, because they're my sons. But if they found them, they're going to love them. Because any stranger in the record industry that comes to see them, like when I finally got to, which was Dylan's idea, to go see, very sad, Jordan Feldstein.
Oh, right.
Who passed away, who managed Maroon 5, and I played their stuff for him. He fell in love with them, and he was making a whole plan to manage them. And obviously I feel worse that he passed away, but he wasn't like a bosom buddy of mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? He just watched their stuff on the internet. Then he met with them. They played their music, and he was forming a plan, and he passed away, which was very sad. He was, great guy, great manager. But it's funny how, if I would call like somebody I know, like Rick Rubin, who doesn't even get on the phone, he would be the first to pass on him. You know what I mean? Just because they're my sons. But I always tell them, who gives a shit about these guys? Because the bottom line is they do have, Dylan writes all their songs, whether he's writing rock and roll. People, I'll just advertise. They could see him at Still Rebel Band. Their album is up on iTunes, and where is it? You tell them where it is. Just
it's anywhere you listen to
Spotify.
music.
Anywhere you can find music. Yeah.
the album is
iTunes,
Still Rebel Valley
YouTube.
Days. And I'm not going to get much into music today, but I'm just saying how hard this industry is. And I'm like, you just got to be at it every day. Who cares what anybody thinks? Because all you need is, a lot of these big guys that are interested, like Dylan just recently got, what was it, Messaged? Or what was the song?
This is cool.
This is the song I don't even like, by the way.
I like it.
Tell him the story.
Sorry.
Let Max tell. Max knows how to lay this stuff out.
This actually isn't a Still Rebel song. This is Dylan Scott, which, Dylan does his solo material. It came out under the Dylan Scott banner. And you tell him who DM'd you.
Yeah, I got a DM, and it was from Fred Durst, who, for anyone out there doesn't know who Fred Durst is, he's the singer of Limp Bizkit, and I'm a huge Fred Durst fan, huge Limp Bizkit fan, so he was just telling me how he dug, my song Someday, and that was huge for me. Like, I couldn't believe I was getting a message from him.
he actually messaged you. What he like used emojis or something, right? He
Yeah,
was like
you know,
someday, and then like the happy emoji.
It's called a shaka. This hand.
But,
Oh, yeah,
Eleanor,
yeah.
This is what's so funny about
It's amazing.
Someday. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So when Dylan, no, you know, I'm honest with Dylan when he plays me a song. Sometimes I say it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
You know, but this particular song, I'm like listening, going, and I'm, you know, and in the song, it's somebody saying like one day I'll be okay again, Daddy. You
Stop.
know,
You're taking
and-
it literal. That's why.
No. But you know, from all the songs he wrote, now Max comes to me. What was the layout? Why you put my picture wearing a Dylan shirt, like a regular picture, and why it would be a great song?
Well, recently I started writing, you know, some solo material, and I decided to put it out under Dylan Scott when before it was all still Rebel. So this was the second song I put out. It's called Someday, and you know, I wanted to find a really cool image to put along with the single. And so I was taking all these Polaroids, and I was taking some of Max and me, and I originally wanted it to be a picture of me, but I happened to take a great Polaroid of you, you know, in a Dylan sweatshirt. So it was a
Which is
shirt
from
from
your
my
bar
bar
mitzvah.
mitzvah. Yeah, that just says
I
my
have
name.
hundreds of them. I made up hundreds.
I think I have hundreds of them too. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
All right, keep going.
And so it was just this great real shot of you, you know. I call it like an Andrew shot, not
Yeah.
a dice
Yeah.
shot.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, and honestly, yeah, you weren't too into the vibe of the song. And so that's why we were like, it's perfect to put the picture
Right.
if you don't like it, because it adds to this whole thing that it is. And
But what did you say, Max, about with parents?
Well, what's funny about the song is both you and Mom didn't really like it, and I was like, you know, I said to Dylan, I was like, if your parents don't like it, it's cool, so it's gonna be a hit.
Because why? Because years ago,
That's
if your
right.
parents didn't like something, that's what made it cool. You
yeah,
know,
like when you were a kid and you play music, your parents would yell, "Shut that crap off!
Number
I don't
one.
want to hear that."
Number one.
So
Yeah,
they figured
right.
out, like, well, if Dad don't like it, you know it's good.
that was like a new thing, because usually you love all the music we make.
I love what they do.
And
you know.
this was like a first. We played it for you, and you were just not into it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because
God.
I'm like, at the end of the song, you just see the person like jumping off a rowboat into the ocean.
Stop it.
It's a bit of
You
a
know.
melancholy song. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I listened to the song, I could leave her. You know, and I like the upbeat stuff. Like I'm always telling them, like Tom Hanks in that movie, Who Did It?
Oh, that thing you do.
Oh, that thing
that
you
thing
do.
you do.
Yeah.
Not who
Give me
did it.
something
Not
snappy.
who did it.
Yeah,
that
give
thing
me,
you
know,
do.
Tom Hanks was like, but you know, the movie took place like in the 60s or something. And Tom Hanks go, we want you to record again, but we want something snappy. You know, you know, I love Hanks.
You want something
Snappy
snappy?
You know, I know he
Hanks.
thinks there's a problem with us, but I never had a problem with him.
With Tom
You know what I mean?
Hanks?
Yeah.
Why would you
I
have a
used to yell
problem with
about,
him?
No, because I used to yell about, and I think he's one of the greatest.
Who doesn't like
honestly.
Tom
He's-
Hanks?
He's had an incredible career. No, I don't hate him.
All right.
I used to get mad, you know, because, all right, so Tom Hanks, gigantic movie star, and I
Okay.
think he won 3 Academy Awards in a row. You know, he won it for playing the dummy
Yep.
in Gump, you know, walking around like, which was one of the funniest fucking movies ever. You know, because, you know, if you think he's such a great actor,
Yeah.
and, you know, every day he's got to show up on the set and you know, like a fucking dummy, you know, that, well, that's what he was playing, you know, like, I don't want to say retarded.
Oh, well, they already heard you. You can't whisper it. You got a camera
No,
in
you
your
can't.
face and a microphone. Nobody.
No,
Didn't hear
politically
you.
correct. You say dummy. to
Now
me, not
you're going to be
retarded.
politically correct?
No, but I don't want to make fun of, you know,
Okay.
look.
But you
Retarded
said,
people
you
are my
said he was
thing.
a terrific
That's
actor.
number one. I
You
grew
just
up.
said you
No, I
like.
grew up for
Oh, yeah.
6 years living in Staten Island, right next to Willowbrook. So I'm allowed to talk about retarded people because I hung out with them for years. No, I'm not even kidding, and you know that.
I know that.
You know, like I've told you boys stories where, you know, I'd have problems with them in the woods. And
That's
no, 'cause I
terrifying,
was
by the
playing
way.
Cowboys and Indian with these 2 retarded guys. But I didn't know they're retarded because I'm 10 and they're in their 30s. But yet everybody's got guns and shooting at each other in the woods. My father built this neighborhood in Staten Island right next to Willowbrook. So I'd go in the woods with my friend and hang with these retarded guys that said they owned a farm next door They'd even let us ride the fucking horses.
Oy.
So I'm not thinking that they act like 10 years old. They're men. So we're having this big shootout in the woods playing Cowboys and Indians.
Oh, my God.
And I knew I got the guy, because he was out in the open. He's going, no, I got you. I go, excuse me, I got you, So he comes over and he whacks me in the face. So I go home and I tell my father. So he grabs an axe and he grabs his bow and arrow to go after the guy.
That's
What's that?
after a guy? He grabbed an axe and a bow and arrow?
They're retarded. They're capable of anything.
But they were probably playing Indians, correct? That's why he brought those tools.
Axe, yes. He grabbed
No,
an axe.
they actually wound up stealing the bow and arrow from outside our house. So
Oh
that was
my
a dangerous
God.
situation. But what I'm saying, I'm not making fun of them.
No, I know, but I find that,
But I grew up right next to Willowbrook.
yeah.
We used to play football, like right on their
I can't
lawn.
believe they'd let him out, like playing like
Oh,
that.
no. When the bell went off, you'd hear the alarm go off, like where they were allowed to come out, and thousands of them just running out onto the field.
Holy shit.
It was crazy living there,
And then they go right back in, like,
Yeah, they'd go in when the bell would sound again. It's like they were programmed to do that.
wow.
So that you're an
dangerous,
expert
Andrew.
on retardation.
No,
You're
what
an
I'm
expert.
saying is I'm not making fun of them.
No,
I
I
just
No, of course
know
not.
how retarded people work.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because I have a lot of experience hanging out with them. My father would say, you can't just go into the woods and talk to men in the woods, and then I changed gears and I would like, I'll never forget going on a foundation because there were foundations for homes and they would freeze in the winter, so I go down there because there was a ladder stuck in the ice. So I figured I'll go skate around like on the and I go through the ice. It was frightening.
Wow.
My God.
It was frightening. I'm lucky it was only like 3 feet, 4 feet deep.
Gee.
And I come home and my mother's like, what happened? I go, I went with Mike over to the ice. I didn't think it was going to break. I get redressed. I go back. I'm looking at the ice, looking at my friend going, I'll tell you the truth. It doesn't look like it would break over here.
You're not a learner.
And I go back, what?
You're not a
I'm
learner.
not a learner because I went down again.
Yeah.
I went through again. And I really got in big trouble, And then, my dog gets hit by a car the same fucking day.
Oh, boy.
So, my father had to go bury the fucking dog, So I just wanted to kill somebody. I'll tell you the truth.
All right. That's a really sad story.
That is sad.
Dylan's going to write a song about that.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it.
I didn't know that the dog happened on the same day as the.
Yeah, because it started raining. And we used to just it was a little poodle. It knew to do its business and come back. Only this time it didn't come back in great shape. And I always felt bad about that,
Sad.
That's awful.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's
happens.
terrible. It
But
couldn't
see, that's the kind of parents I had because that night I wake up, there's another dog in my bed. Like they took care of the situation, to make
I like
us
that.
feel better.
That's
So
sweet.
do I.
That's old school.
Yeah.
It's very old school.
Before you could even miss the other dog, there
Yeah,
was
dogs
a new
are
dog.
replaceable.
Yeah, because we felt everybody in the neighborhood loved that dog. Its name was Peppy.
Is that the one that used to bite everybody?
No, that was Lucy.
Oh, that was the
Lucy.
biter.
Ronaldo, what how long we been on?
Ronaldo?
Going 50 minutes.
50 minutes. Look what we did already in 50 minutes. This is the greatest show.
I love
This
this.
is probably humongous already.
You're kidding.
This
It's that's-
DICECast.
Amazing.
This is probably humongous.
Are
It's
we
like
live? Is this live?
Yeah, it's live. It's
going up
taped.
live?
No,
it's
it's
every
not
fucking
live.
thing you can imagine.
It can't be live and taped.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Really? That's how you react?
I'm from Brooklyn, which if you haven't noticed,
we
after
all
25
notice. It
years
says
of
it on your
hanging out.
shirt. You repeat it.
Yeah, no, I repeat it because
So you
people in
remember.
Brooklyn do say "shut up." You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's
As
how
a-
we talk. It's not taken as an insult.
Exactly.
Like I'll tell you the truth. Even when I went out with the Tangerine Girl in Vegas, because she showed up to my show, which I couldn't believe. Eleanor came to me. She goes, "You're not going to believe." People that follow me on Instagram know who Tangerine Girl is, aka Treadmill Girl.
Yep.
So she goes, "You're not going to believe who's here," and it's Tangerine Girl. So we go out, and she's from where I'm from, which same neck of the woods type of thing. So, like, when she was, like, talking too much, I go, do me a favor, would you just shut the fuck up already? I can't take it already.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, but
Thank
she
you.
understands shut up because she's from where I'm from. Nobody's getting insulted. She didn't look at me and go, shut the fuck up. It's not like some L.A. dummy, you know, some L.A., you know, valley girl go, okay, dude. You know, she's real.
Okay, dude.
You know, she said, shut up to me. I took her for the best steak dinner she ever had because I'm going, we connect.
Yeah.
Stick with the one what brung you to the dance.
Oh, boy.
That's right.
That's what I explain to people. Stick with the one what brung you to the dance, which means stick with what you grew up with.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, I got wives from all over the country, right? Like, the first one was from the mid-fucking West, which was a terrible mistake. Never banged me better than when we were on the fucking farm, by the way.
Ooh.
Never banged me better. I told you
Like
this
where
story
she,
a long time.
yeah.
When I used to bang, boys, you'll love this.
Okay.
When I used to bang this girl in L.A., she would bang, you know, like if we had to do the number system, 1 to 10, she was a 5, 6 on a good day. But when we went to visit her family, listen to me. I'll never forget, because it was a little farmhouse on acres and acres, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed in the crazy brothers room that only had a sliding brown and like a plaid looking magnet door. And the brother would sleep in the barn with all these cats. He let me have his room. I'm not even kidding. It was a real farm. Like, years later, Pauly Shore did a movie that was similar to what I was living, where he's on that farm. So I'm in the room with her, and right next to the room is one step up, and you're in the parents' bedroom. It's a little upstairs. And she comes sneaking in there, and the way she would bang in there was like a seasoned fucking pro, from the moves, from the angles. She could twist her legs this way, that way, the other fucking way, any which way but loose, right? Using language that I didn't even use on fucking stage.
No,
That's how good she would bang. And in my mind, it's like, oh, she wants to get back at the parents.
Wow.
That's what it was. I couldn't even believe it, because when we got back to L.A., she went back to a 5.
That's so weird.
She was at 10.5 on the farm. Everywhere we could bang in the farm, in the weeds, in the fucking barn, near this fucking cow that I kept saying, look the other way or I'm going to smack you.
To the cow?
Yeah, because I don't even like when a dog watches
Yeah,
me have
especially
sex.
a cow.
I don't need a
Yeah.
cow looking at me. All of a sudden, the milk will start shooting. I don't want that.
That's
Like, she would
excitement.
look to bang me anywhere on that farm, but the minute we got back, she went back to like the L.A. bang.
Yeah.
The be happy I'm banging you bang.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like she
I know.
was getting off because her
Yep.
parents or family were right
Yeah.
there.
And like one of her other brothers, who, you know, owned like a church store, you know, where they sold like, you know, all the pictures of like biblical characters and animals, you know, right? You know
Yeah,
what I'm talking
yeah.
about. You know, they sold, you know, every kind of Bible you could get, you know.
Crucifixes, things like
Yeah.
that, statues,
And even
saints.
the mother would go, why'd you open up a Bible store there? There's nobody over there. Like, we went to the Bible store one day to hang out, which was a blast. You know?
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, and there's nothing around the Bible. I mean, it's just acres and acres of nobody. The streets, not one car coming down. I was going out of my mind that I actually took the other brother's, his weights. He had like rusted out weights that I took time to shine it all up so I'd have something to do to keep my sanity. And once a day I would call my agent just to hear like a normal human being.
Oh my
Because
God.
I know an hour from then, there's her mother in front of the TV with a giant beehive, you know, this fucking big, with the popcorn watching Johnny Carson.
No.
And I'm going, this can't be what's happening in my life. You know, because they lived like hours and hours from the airport. It wasn't like a 15-minute ride to the airport. It was, you know, it was surreal. I didn't even know what was going on. And I hung out with this fucking Indian that was married to her other sister, you know, And the Indian was cool. The Indian saved my ass one night, you know, because we went to a pig roast.
Oh, my
Okay?
God. What
Now,
kind of Indian? Like Indian?
It was Cherokee.
Cherokee, that
Real
kind.
deal.
Okay.
Okay?
So dot.
And, you know, he was
feather.
like an Indian. He was married to her other sister, and he would take off for like 3 days at a clip and just get drunk and never come home.
Oh, my
And
God.
but he liked me, so he came to the pig roast, right? So you got to understand, Jews in Iowa were not that popular,
Yeah.
especially in the middle of Iowa.
You
where
might have
there's
been the
nothing.
one. Yeah, you might have been the only one.
Yeah, I was the only one. And I would wear
terrifying.
like, it was funny, I'd wear like a cut-off jean vest with the collar up. And I was Dice, you know, with the cigarettes, you know, and I'm trying to be cool with these guys. And they circle me at the pig roast. They're all fucking drunk. Real fucking farmers, these guys. Right? And I'm going, all right, this is going to be a problem. And it's a problem that I'm not walking away from so easy.
Yeah.
Because they were drunk and they just hated me from seeing me. So, and I'm not even kidding about this Indian guy was like Billy Jack. It was amazing. All of a sudden, he goes over to the toughest one, the one that was really fucking with me. And he takes out one of those knives that you see in the movies.
Yeah.
And you go, how do they do?
Oh, like a
Right in front of the
switchblade.
guy's face. And he fucking grabs. He goes, you want to fuck with my friend? You're fucking with me.
Nice.
You know? And he wanted to kill him. The Indian actually wanted to kill him, which I would have found interesting because it was a party. And everybody's drinking and eating pig, you know?
Oh, that
And he
sounds
saved
gross.
my ass. And after that, we just hung out together. I knew I found a friend. And one night, I don't know why we were running through the fields, but we came across like this giant fence that going over it, it had some barbed wire that I ripped open my ankle. Okay. And we get back to my house and her whole family is laughing, you know, going, you really want to go to hospital to stitch that up?
Oh.
That's a scratch. And I'm seeing the guts of my leg coming out. And they just like wrapped it. There was no hospital run. They dragged me across a lake, Max, still. You wouldn't even believe. Do I look like a water ski guy? Do I look like I grew up doing water skiing tricks?
Did you have fingerless gloves on?
Now, did I have my fingerless? I don't even know. Maybe.
I'm just
Could you
seeing
imagine?
that. Like,
So they take me to the lake. Now, the one I called Jethro, the brother that was all built out, that slept with the cats, just wore the Levi's with no shirt, and for whatever reasons had muscles like Tarzan, you know, and her other brother was like 600 pounds. It was amazing. So he's sitting on a rock, this guy. And so the girls go first, her and her sister, and the father's got a boat, and they're doing they're flipping. They're actually flipping and going over things and jumping and like that amazed me with my girlfriend. Like I couldn't believe she could do that. Now it's my turn. Now it's the Jews' turn.
oh my God.
From Brooklyn, right? So they make you stand on the land, and I got the thing, and the father's like, you ready? Are you ready? Could just see the hate in his face. I'm going, yeah. Like, I'm figuring how hard could it be? So they take off, and I'm on my feet, and I lasted a good, 5-6 seconds
Okay.
before I went face down, but I didn't let go of the thing you got to hold on to, the rope, whatever. And the father just keeps going at full steam, and I'm bouncing on the water.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And now they pull me into the boat, and I see the brother on the rock laughing his ass off and chewing something, which I don't know what it was to this day.
Toenails, probably.
I don't know
Ugh.
what he was chewing, but it didn't look right.
Ugh.
And I spent 2 weeks in Iowa. Anyway,
Did you marry her after that?
yeah.
That's
We could talk
crazy.
about the marriage and everything.
I'm just saying, that's
and the
crazy.
divorce and the lawsuit.
No, you don't have to.
On another podcast. I got a ton of stories.
I know you do.
I got a whole career to talk. This is almost like, oh my God. You know what I just figured out?
Oh, boy.
Patrick, this is almost like documentary
Oh.
reality DICECAST.
Just add it all in. Whatever you want to do.
It's unbelievable.
It's everything.
It
You're an
really
inventor.
is unbelievable. You know what we'll do to end the show? I wasn't going to do this, but Patrick, All right, here's the scenario. You're going to play one of their songs on the radio, whatever you got over there. Mm-hmm. And as you're doing it, see, I don't even want to fake this shit. As you're doing it, you film us all so people get to know who we are. So what song would you want to hear of Valley Days? That you could
Closer.
Closer.
Yeah.
Closer. I think it's
Let's do
track
Closer.
2. It's track 2.
Yeah.
Okay? And then we'll be done in a few minutes and, have a great show coming up after this.
All right.
Exciting.
All right, so as you film and get creative with the camera, go ahead, Closer from Still Rebel, up on iTunes, Valley Days. Been a great crowd. See you on our next episode. I'm over here now.